Nah. Sup, bro? Cinnabro. Just got done hanging my poster here. You see this? Hereditary. Have you even heard of Hereditary? Do you even care about art? Like, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen, and nothing scares me. Welcome back to the Arrogant Dream YouTube channel. I'm doing a bracket of movies from the 2000s. Allegedly, the best movies from the 2000s. This is based off Film Spotting's Best Movies of the 2000s bracket. And since their shitty printable bracket is all filled out already from their polls and votes and shit, I just made my own. It still says 2019 NCAA tournament. If I see Alita Battle Angel on this list, I'm gonna be very upset. I don't really know why I'm saying that. I already wrote everything down. I know it's not on there. All right, first we got No Country for Old Men and Moon. Moon is a great, I think it's a debut, right? It's Duncan Jones's debut. And then his career just took a massive nosedive. It is a great debut. I have nothing else to say about it. Just in comparison to No Country for Old Men, it just gets kind of stomped, like curb stomped. No Country for Old Men is just, it slaps. It's hilarious, it's grim. The lack of music, dialogue, Javier Bardem's performance, the practical effects. There's a scene where they break down how they filmed that choking scene when Javier Bardem kills that police officer and the blood spurting out, and they like did these makeup effects where they already had these like indents in his neck and like the red spots. It's just crazy. So Moonlight. All right, next we got Brick and Requiem for a Dream. I would give Requiem for a Dream a bye here, just purely on the ass to ass. Brick is a great, I think that's a debut too for Papa Rian. I love that movie's just playfulness. I love his boyish approach to like hard-boiled crime dramas and high school tropes and cliches. It's super energetic and lively. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's fun to watch. Every character in that movie is just so like expendable and overt characters that you kind of get like charmed by it anyway. Requiem for a Dream on the same level of playfulness and fun, but I would probably have to go with Requiem for a Dream just because it's so like monumental and moving and powerful, and just the score it haunts and lingers in your head like years after you've seen it. It feels immense and important, and I don't think I would be as quick to rewatch Brick as I would with Requiem for a Dream, even though it's incredibly disturbing, but also super well filmed. The drug sequences, Darren Aronofsky knows how to cut together with sound and montage and claustrophobia. He's a master at making you feel trapped and completely paranoid and anxious. We saw that with Mother. Requiem for a Drizzy. All right, this is running out of ink. Pan's Labyrinth and Grizzly Man. Grizzly Man's a great doc. I haven't decided any of these beforehand. I'm just kind of going through them now. Yeah, Werner Herzog. That's probably his best doc. It's great. I gotta go with Pan's Labyrinth. You can't beat the production and costume and makeups, and it's like one of the best child performances ever. Maybe the best. It's phenomenal. And the guy, the Bye Bye Man. Why do I know him first from the Bye Bye Man than from this movie? What's his name? Fucking Doug Jones. Doug Jones, yeah. I'm gonna go replace this. I'll be right back. That kind of is, I would say that's Del Toro's magnum opus. We got Kill Bill Volume 1 and Once. I'm glad they grouped together very similar movies.
Falling slowly,
Once is very good if you're into that music and aesthetic. That song is great. But beyond that, I don't really know if it's the most accessible in comparison to the Kill Bill Volume 1. And not that inaccessibility is a detriment to a film, but I think in addition to Kill Bill Volume 1 being the more accessible of the two, it's incredible how well filmed and well made it is. Like Quentin Tarantino did an amazing job. Everybody talks about that one camera sequence where he does like a bunch of tricks. Is that Kill Bill Volume 2? I think it's Volume 1. I'll have to double check. But yeah, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I like Once. It kind of hits home for me, but I mean, the choreography, the effects, just how fun and unhinged it is. You can't beat Kill Bill. It's right there on there. That might be Tarantino's best too, I'm not sure. Royal Tenenbaums and 25th Hour. I'm not a fan of Spike Lee movies in general, so, and I hardly remember 25th Hour. I remember his rant, which is like meme to death, but yeah, I guess Royal Tenenbaums. I'm not really a huge fan of that one either. But sorry, Cinebros, I'm not a Wes Anderson fucking a stan. Almost Famous and Anchorman. Anchorman. I don't even know why this is on here. Almost Famous. Sorry. Adam McKay stands. What a strange directorial pivot that man has taken from Anchorman 1 and 2 to The Big Short and Vice. My favorite movie of 2018. Spirited Away, Squid and the Whale. I haven't seen Squid and the Whale. I like Spirited Away quite a bit. I guess just by default I have to go with that, but I hear Squid and the Whale is great, and I want to check out more Noah Baumbach. And I think Wes Anderson co-wrote it with him. Jesse Eisenberg, fucking Jeff Daniels. Yeah, I wanna check it out. It looks pretty great. Punch Drunk Love and Synecdoche, New York. I'm gonna go with Punch Drunk Love here. I'm not a fan of I can't confidently say I'm a fan of Synecdoche, because I feel like I just go back and forth on it too much. It's warranted multiple rewatches for me, but I just too often find it a slog, kind of bloated, a little full of itself. I dig its kind of layers and multiple meanings, and there's a great analysis on YouTube that Your Movie Sucks is doing right now. He has some awesome insights on what certain things mean, and it's absolutely worth revisiting for that. I just find myself not enjoying it by the time it's over, and maybe that's the point of the movie, but I mean, I don't know. I've only seen Punch Drunk Love twice, but I guess comparing the two, I would say that it's the more focused of the two films. It has a bit more liveliness to the direction and to the, I guess, color and cinematography. It's a bit more ambitious. I would go with Punch Drunk Love in that case. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Elephant. I'm gonna go with Eternal Sunshine, I think, hands down. Granted, I did see Elephant a long time ago, when I wasn't the film auteur that I am today. But no, seriously, I think I might have not been in the right headspace maturity-wise. I remember thinking that it didn't really have a reason to exist or like a point to the whole thing. But maybe that is the point. I think Gus Van Sant kind of likes to toy with those ideas, especially in like, you won't get far, and don't worry, he won't get far on foot. Just based on the writing, directing, use of music, flashbacks, just how innovative I feel it was with the production and transitions, and like that shot when he's walking from the library and the lights go off and he just goes into the next room. Brokeback Mountain and Finding Nemo. Gay movie.
Was just based on hate and fear.
Any whore. Lost in Translation and Beau Travail. That's 1999, right? right? I never saw it, but I'm pretty sure. I looked this up like a couple months ago. Yeah, 1999 French film. Claire Denis. I guess I just have to go with Lost in Translation, even though I think it's a bit overrated on the premise that I've just never seen Beau Travail. But I do want to check out more Claire Denis. I hear she's fantastic. And she had one that came out recently. It was with Juliette Binoche. Shaun of the Dead, Hurt Locker. Shaun of the Dead's one of my favorite horror comedies. It's such a film bro pick though. This doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. I like that movie more than, I was gonna say a lot more. They're on the same 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 scale, but I'd go with Shaun of the Dead. That opening scene of the Hurt Locker is one of the most grimy, like heart-pounding, effective, immersive opening scenes in any movie I've ever seen. I'll just say that. Mulholland Drive, Donnie Darko. Both big mind fucks. I think Mulholland Drive initially kind of knocked me off my feet, but I haven't thought about it since like the week after seeing it. And I said I was going to get into David Lynch's filmography because I saw Blue Velvet the night before. I saw, what was that movie? Wild at Heart. I was going to say Running Scared. Yeah, I guess Donnie Darko is great too. I don't know. I guess Mulholland Drive, just because it feels like the more culturally relevant film and just how impactful it was to his career. It's probably like his most well-known, but that doesn't matter. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's the better of the two. I just put Drive, and I'm kind of wishing Drive was made before the 2010s. Oh, right. Moving right along. Spider-Man 2 and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I think, oh man, that's a strange pairing, but I guess it's all kind of random, this whole assortment of films. I guess Spider-Man 2, I saw Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon once, and I thought it was pretty great, but I haven't had any like kind of desire to rewatch it, and I guess that scene where the car crashes through that restaurant, fucking slow motion. Almost kills the most unlikable character in any superhero movie ever. We were that close. That close. Spider-Man 2 is Before Sunset, adaptation. Ooh, both great films. The best of the Before trilogy. But adaptation, you can't ignore that incredible postmodern writing. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. This is hard. Make a decision. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before Sunset. In the grand scheme of things, I feel like I get more out of Before Sunset. Just, you know, the writing, direction, which I feel like is overlooked for some reason in those movies. It's just incredible. The long takes. It's so meticulously crafted, and the rapport between the two of them is so free flowing. It looks effortless. They're both career performances for both of them. I haven't even seen like anything else from Julie Delpy. I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like that trilogy is going to become more and more culturally significant and just timeless as age wears on it. That trilogy is made to grow old and sustain its timelessness and its place in cinema. It's incredible, the ideas thrown around there. Richard Linklater killed it. Fantastic Mr. Fox and 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. I haven't seen 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, but I hear it's great. I feel like a piece of shit. I probably should have done a good marathon of movies I haven't seen here, but I guess just out of default, I'll go with Mr. Fox. If you've seen 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, let me know what you think in the comments section. But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is awesome. Awesome. All right. Moving over here, we have Bow. Starting right here, we have There Will Be Blood and Atonement. Oh God. I will say that I immediately, when I saw Atonement for the first time, I was just like, this is gonna be in my top 20. Like, no question. And I haven't watched it in a long time, and I think that's telling of how I feel about it now. On the other hand, There Will Be Blood, amazing PTA film. It doesn't have that kind of PTA flair and like fire that he brings on other projects that I feel like was kind of missing in this one, even though the style did definitely suit that events that transpire and the landscape that they're in. Oh, I feel like it comes down to the performances and the writing, because the direction in both those movies is stellar. And I think Saoirse Ronan's best performance, but I think you can't beat Daniel Day-Lewis's interpretation of that character. Like,
I'm a family man. I run a family business. This is my...
It's classic. It's so quotable. Chilling, intense, and just in your face, and just chilling, intense, and just... face. The New World and Amelie. I'm not really a fan of either of these. Malik's like first diversion into his new style of filmmaking. It's really sloppy. I don't like Colin Farrell that much. I'm gonna go with Amelie, I guess. It's pretty charming. It's cute, sweet, fun, obnoxious. Whatever. I guess it's better. They're just such weird pairings. Like all these movies, like they're just so in the mood for love. And L'Enfant, the child from the Jean-Pierre and Luc Dardenne. You can't beat the environmental framing of In the Mood for Love. It's been talked about endlessly. Perfectly paced, great performances. But man, the Dardenne brothers, they know how to make a movie, dude. They're just consistently great. I'm gonna go with In the Mood for Love, because that movie has stuck with me. Still, they're both pretty awesome, I would say. Memento and Cachet. Memento's so good. It's Cachet. It has to be Cachet. One of the best endings to a movie ever. It seems like every shot fucking matters. Like, so much is happening. It's so dense and so textured, detailed. He's a master at just incorporating small details in every frame. He's a perfectionist, and I have Zodiac and Wendy and Lucy. The fuck is Wendy and Lucy?
What the hell is this?
Kelly Reichardt? Michelle Williams! I just wanted to humor that one for a bit. No one's beating Fincher. The Prestige and Hot Fuzz. I don't like The Prestige that much. So Hot Fuzz. And also Hot Fuzz is maybe my favorite comedy ever. I'm not sure. But yeah. Easy pick. Children of Men and Let the Right One In. Easily. Let the Right One In. Easily. I'm not a fan of Children of Men. Ratatouille and In Bruges. Oh, by the way, Let the Right One In. That's the original, the foreign language film. Do not even fucking touch the remake. Don't go near it. Don't lay eyes on it. Don't even Google search it after this video is done. Please. I'm begging you. Please. Ratatouille and In Bruges. Ratatouille is one of the better Pixar movies, for sure. The rat's name is not Ratatouille. Apparently that's like a misconception. In Bruges, great dark comedy. Definitely Martin McDonagh's best. Both great. I guess the opening scene just had me hooked in Bruges, like from there on out. It's such a great way to open a movie, especially one that has to set that difficult tone and keep it throughout. Yeah, I'm gonna go with In Bruges for this one. Ratatouille is great. It's a great out of 10. I recall fonder rewatches on In Bruges, and I just feel like I get more out of it, substance-wise than Ratatouille. I don't really feel the need to go back and watch it anytime soon. Dark Knight and The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Best superhero movie versus an incredibly, beautifully, stunningly shot Andrew Dominic film, who also made Killing Them Softly, which is underrated, I would say. I would go with Jesse James. The Dark Knight, I've seen it so many times, and I know that's not really an excuse to kind of say a movie's not good anymore or whatever, but it is great. I want to go back and like study Jesse James. I want to like inhale every frame like suck it up like wonton soup. Suck it up like a good vagina. Serious Man and Unbreakable. Both movies actually, interestingly enough, they have to keep this consistent and tricky tone throughout, and I think they kind of subvert audience expectations really well. They kind of flip the genre on its head. I mean, more so Unbreakable than A Serious Man. I mean, the Coen brothers kind of use that same style and formula in their movies, but it still feels subversive, unpredictable, especially the ending. I did not expect it to end that way. Unbreakable is really good. I find more flaws that outweigh some goods in Unbreakable than I do with Serious Man, so I'm going to go with Serious Man here. Wall-E and Talk to Her. I've never even fucking heard of Talk to Her, so I'm going to go with Wall-E. I'm going to look that up right now, actually. Oh, Pedro Almodovar. I'm gonna add that to my watch list right now. Departed and Y Tu Mama Tambien. Departed. It's not easy, but Departed's one of my favorites ever. It's my favorite Scorsese. Although Silence is awesome, and that is definitely worth challenging that top spot. I'm gonna go with Departed here. Just because it's 2.5 hours, but that movie flies by. It's so full of vibrancy and zest and kinetic energy. It's just so like bombastic, and I love like the little stylistic flares he incorporates, and his camera movements and the performances are just like unforgettable. And I guess all the same can be said about Y Tu Mama Tambien. I mean, like, it's a hallmark of Alfonso Cuarón's career. I end up becoming engrossed in the director's traits and tendencies and the writing a lot more fluidly, I guess passionately, in The Departed than I do with Y Tu Mama Tambien, even though that's a very, very good film. I saw that for the first time recently, actually, but it still feels like The Departed is just fresh in my head, even though I've seen it like dozens of times. Inglourious Bastards and A History of Violence. I'm gonna go with Inglourious Bastards because I saw A History of Violence once. I thought it was good, but not on this level of Inglourious Bastards. Just iconic scenes. The bar scene, which ends up on everybody's top 10 did you know moments, whatever. Minority Report and Old Boy. I assume you mean Spike Lee's Old Boy, so obviously. I think that's the easiest victory. Yeah, I think that's the easiest choice I've had to make so far. Fellowship of the Ring and City of God. Ooh. I'm gonna go with Fellowship of the Ring. I think it's the more influential and groundbreaking film in its respective genre. Although that genre didn't really have a lot of legs to run with anyway, even though, you know, we had some films like it before, but that just kind of elevated the high fantasy genre to another level, another dimension, so a fourth dimension. Hey, Jackson. He's an egg. All right, last one of this quadrant, this whole round of 64. Incredibles and Yi. Okay. I'm gonna go watch Yi. Never seen it. I'll be right back. Okay, just got back from watching Yi for the first time. My thoughts, I thought it was a Taiwanese-Japanese drama film written and directed by Edward Yang. I thought the film's theme centers around the emotional struggles of an engineer named NJ and 3 generations of his middle class. All right, we have No Country for Old Men versus Requiem for a Dream, which is fucking tough, but I'm gonna go with No Country for Old Men. They both have like horror elements. It's difficult to compare the two in that regard because one of them is grounded in this like reality, like people could legit be, you know, doing this, and this seems almost like a real life story, especially with like Jared Leto and Marlon Wayne's characters. But I guess in terms of just like a classic story, one to be told over and over again, a staple of just like modern cinema, it has to be No Country for Old Men. Significant and powerful, a film that drives, you know, neo-westerns and thrillers, you know, since its release. Pan's Labyrinth vs. Kill Bill Volume 1. Fuck. Pan's Labyrinth. I'm gonna go with Pan's Labyrinth. To me, it just comes down to checking off boxes of like the greatest of that film's, you know, respective categories. Like Pan's Labyrinth, some of the greatest costumes and makeup and colors and just cinematography and look to the whole thing. And then Kill Bill Volume 1, that is one of the best action movies ever. Fuck. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I love Guillermo, my thick papa. Royal Tenenbaums and Almost Famous. I'm gonna go with Almost Famous. I think that's kind of a film that's impacted me more emotionally. Spirited Away, Punch Drunk Love. I'm gonna go with Punch Drunk Love. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Brokeback Mountain. I'm going with Eternal Sunshine here. Lost in Translation, Shaun of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead. Mulholland Drive and Spider-Man 2. I feel like I'm gonna get in some deep shit. The fuck cares, dude? Spider-Man 2 is the better film. Fight me with facts and logic. Before Sunset and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Before Sunset, I think. I had a tougher time deciding in the first round between Before Sunset and Adaptation than this one here, but wow, I didn't expect Spider-Man 2 to make it to the what is it? The Elite Eight? There Will Be Blood and Amelie, easily. There Will Be Blood. In the Mood for Love and Cachet. Cachet gets that one. Both incredibly well shot and directed, but Cachet. Hanukkah just hits like the very tip of my boner for me. Zodiac and Hot Fuzz. Ooh.
Ooh.
I hate myself if I do this. Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz. No. Zodiac is just like enthralling and massive and supremely acted. Like Robert Downey Jr. Holy shit. Jake Gyllenhaal. Hot Fuzz. It's obviously going for different things. I want to flip a coin almost. I'm gonna go with Hot Fuzz. Yeah. No, I feel bad now though because I have two Edgar Wright movies. It doesn't matter. I'm just going by the individual films. I feel like I'm just having a war in my head right now, but whatever. Here we go. Let the Right One In and In Bruges. I'm gonna go with The Right One In. That's one of the best foreign language films I've ever seen, honestly. The Assassination of Jesse James and A Serious Man, both shot by Roger Deakins. I'm gonna go with Serious Man. It feels like a film with a more important and urgent message to get across, and to go along with that, it's just hilarious. Meticulously well shot and directed. WALL-E and The Departed. My favorite Pixar and my favorite Scorsese. I would go with The Departed. I can just watch that movie endlessly, on repeat. When I was in the hospital once, they had The Departed playing on the TV, and it was the TV-14 version. The last shot of the movie, or one of the last shots of the movie, when someone gets shot, they like change the aspect ratio, so they cut out like the blood splatter on a door, and it was just the most like distracting, frustrating thing.
Watch what happens! What, so you can get the parade, huh? The bagpipes and bull stuff? Forget it! Forget it, I'm gonna freaking arrest you! It's the stupidest thing you could do! Shut that!
Inglourious Bastards and Old Boy. Old Boy, no question. One of the rare action movies that delivers one of the most powerful acting performances you'll see in film. It's especially in the third act. It just elevates that movie. It's jaw-dropping. You're left speechless. Fellowship of the Ring and The Incredibles. Fellowship of the Ring. I don't think The Incredibles is all that great. All right, There Will Be Blood and Cachet. Actually, I'm gonna go over here. No Country for Old Men and Pan's Labyrinth. I'm gonna go with No Country for Old Men. Almost Famous and Punch Drunk Love. I'm gonna go with Punch Drunk Love. Eternal Sunshine and Shaun of the Dead. I'm gonna go with Eternal Sunshine. Probably my favorite Charlie Kaufman. That is until Chaos Walking comes out in 2019 or 2020. Spider-Man 2 and Before Sunset. Before Sunset. Yeah. I can't imagine Spider-Man 2 cracking like my top 4 favorite movies of the 2000s. Like it's not, I don't like it that much. This scent of the Sharpie is just like radiating and immersing itself in my brainwaves, and I just have like an all-time headache right now. There Will Be Blood and Cachet. Hot Fuzz and Let the Right One In.
side.
Let the right one in. Departed and Serious Man, I'm going with The Departed. Old Boy and Fellowship, I'm going with Old Boy. Yeah, see, I pick art movies. I pick weird movies where they don't speak English. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to read while I watch a movie, right? We're down to the Elite 8. I'm surprised my camera battery's still running. We have No Country for Old Men and Punch Drunk Love. I'm going with No Country for Old Men. Eternal Sunshine and Sunset. I'm going with The Eternal. Cachet and Let the Right One In. Two of my favorite foreign language movies ever. I can't imagine Haneke's filmography without Cachet. Like, Daniel Alfredson, he made The Snowman. It doesn't have to do with this movie, but Cachet is just a vital piece of Haneke's oeuvre. Departed and Old Boy. Whew. Two of the greatest crime films. Old Boy's tough to watch, but that's like a good thing. I'm saying that as a positive. But Departed, like, the ending is fucking tragic. Oh man. I'm going with Old Boy. Those performances, that ending, how just sadistic and clever it is. It hits you and keeps you down and just punches you while you're down. It abuses you. It's a difficult movie. It's fucking awesome. All right, we have No Country for Old Men, Cachet, Eternal Sunshine, and Old Boy. All right, I guess I'll start with the top. No Country for Old Men and Cachet. No Country for Old Men, one of the best villains we've ever gotten. Cinematography is great. I love the restraint to show, or to not show the main character's death, like as it happened. You just see the aftermath as the Tommy Lee Jones's character kind of picks up the pieces. That's kind of in the same vein as Haneke's restraint to not show violence on screen. You kind of see the aftermath or the prelude to whatever's happening. I guess a film that I feel has impacted me, the way I look at films differently now, and the way I like to make films now, and how I want to make films in the future, one that just kind of inspires me in this weird, like, sadistic way. I'm gonna go with Cachet as the finalist in this bracket. Eternal Sunshine and Old Boy. Wow. Both actually kind of rooted in this theme of memory and how one views their past and how they can, manipulate their stories and whatnot. I like how both films film their flashbacks. It's like when Old Boy, he has his older self kind of following around his younger self as he's spying on the two characters. And then in Eternal Sunshine, the way he kind of, Jim Carrey has control over his own memories and flashbacks. They're super innovative. To me, I guess it boils down to, because the writing is both superb, direction is incredible. Michel Gondry hasn't done too much since then, right? Park Chan-wook is just a beast, an unstoppable, immovable force. I'm gonna go with Eternal Sunshine. It hits all the right notes for me. Not that Old Boy didn't. It's a film that just sends me through a wide range of emotions, like devastated, joy-filled, impassioned, melancholy, depressed. It has everything you need out of a romantic science fiction comedy drama with psychological thriller. All right, so it's Cachet and Eternal Sunshine. And between these two, actually, it's a little bit easier for me to pick between these two. Wait, no, it's not. What the fuck? Cake, because that movie is Michael Haneke's complete creative control over the project. Obviously, Eternal Sunshine, it does seem more like Charlie Kaufman's project than, Michel Gondry's. And I feel like Haneke, nobody else could have made Cachet. I don't think, if you got another director on Eternal Sunshine, it still would have been great because it was written by Charlie Kaufman. It's certainly his movie, but Cachet, a passion project. Nobody else could have done it. It's completely his own film, and it's my favorite of the 2000s. Thanks for sticking with me throughout this whole fucking thing. I'm gonna go finish eating that poster. I hope you have a great day. Bel Pally's Detroit accent, I hope you have a shit day.
You realize you're the worst father ever.
If you like Let Me In, as opposed to Let the Right One In, I hope you have a shit day too. If you actually do have a shit day, because I said so, I would feel kind of bad, but what are you doing? Why watch Let the Right One In. Thanks for watching. Seriously, love you guys.